Hey folks, Kerry Davis with Dark Angel Medical here talking to you today about a very controversial and stigmatized and demonized subject, the tourniquet. Tourniquets, when I came in 1991 in the military, I used to teach self-aid buddy care, and we taught, don't use this unless it's a last resort. You'll lose a limb. Unless they're gonna die, don't use this tourniquet. Well folks, times have changed. Since 2001, we've had over approximately 2,000 troops' lives saved with the use of a tourniquet. A lot of law enforcement and EMS agencies are adopting the tourniquet nowadays because it does what it's supposed to do. It stops the bleeding fast. We've been using the tourniquet since the turn of the century in the operating room, and tourniquet use even goes back to 199 BC in ancient Greece and ancient Rome because they figured out, hey, this stops the bleeding, and that's what we're trying to do because blood belongs in the body. It's science. When we're using a tourniquet like this, cat tourniquet here, this is a combat application tourniquet, the Tactical Medical Solutions Soft T Wide, or the SWAT T tourniquet, the principle is all the same. We want to make sure we get a tourniquet that's going to work for us and for our mission. Now tourniquets act not only on the force they compress, but also the surface area that's being compressed upon the subject. So if you got somebody with big legs, like the big, I lifts things up and puts them down legs, you may need more than one tourniquet. So if you have more than one tourniquet, you want to place it just below or just above it. You want to place it side by side so you increase that surface area exponentially and you get a lot more compression on that tissue. But our goal is to stop all the bleeding completely, have no distal pulses, and make sure that the blood stays in the body where it belongs. When you're putting a tourniquet on, placement is important. Tactical combat casualty care guidelines say a couple inches, 3 inches above the wound. However, arteries have a nasty habit of retracting because they're very muscular and very elastic. So that artery may retract 4 inches, and then you are putting the tourniquet below the side of the injury. What we teach and what a lot of other military guys teach now is going high and tight. We remember a military haircut is high and tight. Same way we want to put our tourniquet on, high and tight. So no matter if I have an amputation here at my wrist, or here at my mid forearm, or a big laceration here that I've got life-threatening bleed from, or down in my leg, I want to get that tourniquet as high and tight as possible because it's much easier for me to create an arterial occlusion with this tourniquet on one vessel, my brachial artery that travels alongside my humerus here, against against that humerus, versus it is to get an occlusion with your radial and ulnar arteries against your radius and your ulna. So it's much easier to gain that occlusion. Also, it gives you commonality of use. So wherever I put that tourniquet, whichever limb gets injured, I know I put it in the same place every time, every injury, no matter what it is, high and tight. And we're going as high as we can. When I put this tourniquet on, I want to make sure I get it on as tight as possible the first turn or the first pull, so that every time I turn this thing, I only have to turn it 1 or 2 times and it's shut down that artery. When I get this thing on, after I get it in, I want to make sure I put my safety on and I put my time on here, so that lets the responders know just how long the tourniquet's been on. Tourniquet times can be anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours. There's even case study with the tourniquet being on in 16 hours and the individual did not lose their limb. Now, when we're staging a tourniquet, this is how I'm going to stage the tourniquet. This cat tourniquet, I set it up for success. I keep this thing staged. This is my strap. This is my friction adapter. This is my windlass. This is my windlass retention clip and my windlass retention strap. When I set this up, I want to bring my strap through the bottom opening on my friction adapter about 1 foot, and I bring just the tip right past the end of the buckle, like so. I'm going to flatten that down so the hook and loop grab on each other. Then I'm going to fold, and I look like I got a little grab handle here with a little opening. Then I'm going to fold the slick side to the sticky side. That's the sticky side, is the hook and loop right there, just like I have a hook and loop on this pouch here. So I'm going to fold that over, and I'm going to fold the sticky side back to the slick side. That way when I stow it in my compartment here in my dart kit, I don't have to worry about it sticking together when I deploy it and open it up nice and easy like that. When I get this on, if I pull it up on this extremity here, I'm going to pull it up as high and as tight as possible. I'm going to pull it, and that's going to break loose. I'm going to get a nice big pull on that, get it as tight as I can go, and then I'm going to start turning my tourniquet down, my windlass down. When I get it tight enough, I've got all the arterial flow stopped, it goes in my windlass retention clip, my safety comes on, my windlass retention strap comes on, I get the time written on there, and then I continue on my mission or my fight, whatever the case may be. That's tourniquets in a nutshell, guys. If you have any questions on tourniquets, how to use them, how not to use them, when to use them, give us a call or shoot us an email at info@darkangelmedical.com, or check out our website at www.darkangelmedical.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for our little pop quizzes and scenarios. And most of all, stay safe.